Hello, it's Brian from Coherent. In this video, I would like to show you some of the high points of Coherent Insights. Insights is the part of our platform that uses AI to tell you what's going on in various Excel models across your organization. Let's take a look at the kind of knowledge that it might turn up for you. In this dashboard, what has happened is that someone has pointed insights at a repository of Excel models. Maybe it was a shared directory, maybe it was a SharePoint site, and Coherent has analyzed all of these workbooks in the repository. Importantly, the Excel models did not have to be uploaded to Coherent. All of the analysis was done locally on your machine. One of the first things it'll do is group these Excel models logically. It's looking at the formulas or features of what the workbook is doing. And one of the things I like to do is just filter the groups by the number of models in the group. I'm always just curious about which groups of models have the largest number of instances in my company and why. So here we see a group called insurance policy reinstatement models, and there's 287 of these and 16 authors. So let's see what we can find out about all this. All right, first off, here's a nice plain English discussion of what's going on. It looks like this is a reinstatement calculator that's done offline, and most likely the outputs are plugged back into a claim system of some sort or a policy system of some sort. Now, it tells us down here at the bottom right that a number of people have touched this model or have saved copies of it. So that's what these authors mean, is that when the Excel workbook gets duplicated and saved, the person's name who saved it is associated as the author of the workbook. Up here, we can see a breakdown of how this model actually behaves. So this is mainly formulas, and that tells me this is a calculation engine of some sort. It's basically doing math as opposed to, I don't know, a bordereau, which would be mostly strings and numbers. And I could look into any of the given models here if I wanted to, but I'm going to just continue along and let my curiosity lead me. What VBA modules are in this workbook and what are they doing? Let's just take a look. All right, so there's a bunch of these modules, and Coherent has analyzed the code in each one, and it's telling you in plain English what each one is doing, and then it's raising a lot of issues. And Coherent can be pretty cutting in its analysis of VBA. It's really useful actually to see its recommendations on how to improve VBA if that's what you're going to need to do for your business process. One thing I like best about Coherent Insights is the ability to drill down into the individual cells and understand the lineage of what's happening. So in this scrolling vertical menu here, what we're looking at is individual tabs in the workbooks, worksheets, if you will. There's a worksheet called reinstatement calculation. There's a worksheet called documentation, one called loan, etc. So I'm going to run analysis on the reinstatement calculation sheet within this workbook. And what it's going to tell me is what's going on in the individual cells. All right. Now, what we see, here's cell A1, here's cell A2, A3, A4, et cetera. So this is a representation of the spreadsheet itself. The dark gray ones are headers or labels, the light gray. The purple ones are actual formulas. And so my eye immediately looks at this one here, cell D3, because apparently there's 7 variations of this formula in D3 across all these iterations of the workbook. This cell down here, B8, has 13 variations of that formula. And so raises the question of who made these changes and were they authorized, and was the new version of the model propagated out to all the people who might have needed it, right? So the picture is coming into focus of what this group of models is. It's a business process that was left on the cutting room floor by IT, and people in the team have had to make do with what they had, which was Excel. So this process exists in an ungoverned way within your company. Now, The rest of the Coherent platform is all about bringing that process under governance. In another video, we'll show you how we might use the control part of Coherent's platform to turn the individual Excel models on users' desktops into controlled, governed assets. And over here on the right, the transformation part of our platform is the classic Coherent Spark that you all know and love that turns Excel models into APIs for the highest level of fidelity in a broader transformation project. And so it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to see how you might use Coherent Insights within your company, maybe part of a model risk management function, maybe as the early steps of a broader transformation effort, et cetera, et cetera. If you'd like to dive deeper into a given use case, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks very much.